Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth, coming from the celestials into the earth, being that bridge between the celestials into the earth and this divine energy essence of it all. Always reporting to you live from nowhere other than dimension number 5, and it is getting turned up in this dimension. We are getting deeper and more deeply entrenched. We are more than knee deep in, for those of us who have been activated and coming online, particularly since 2020, and really finding our divine timing. So, as usual, I bring you the news to infuse. If you so choose to infuse with this light lighting up on the light grid, and if not, that's perfectly fine. Choose to do what you choose to do with that. And by default, if you don't infuse, remember that it is a refuse, which be prepared to be fried and on the grid. So with that, this is about oscillating between time. We're really feeling it. Some of us are really feeling it, and that's because we are capsules in time. We are vessels of time, capsules in time, whatever you want to call it. We're looking, if you're out there looking for a time machine, you are your own time machine in this divine matrix that we're in. And so we're calibrating, we are assimilating with the frequencies, especially after this very huge cosmic event. Cosmic Messenger, Third Eye Atlas is still interacting with us. So there's a lot of us. We are really experiencing the fourth dimension right now. I have never experienced it like this much before. I used to say it looks like we're just skipping from 3D into 5D. What about the 4D? And if you're feeling any oscillating between time, any pauses in time, expansion of time, contraction of time, time going too fast, time seeming to move slow, which has to do with the expansion and the contraction. If you're feeling any of that, you are definitely feeling and experiencing the fourth dimension. So even though we don't just stick in one, we go in and out, right? This is just to tap us in for those who are entering in, awakening to these higher dimensions. Some of you may even be 6th dimensional, 7th dimensional, but we kind of fluctuate between the dimensions. We don't just bam, we're in 5D and we're there. We're still in between the dimensions of time. It just so happens that the earth has ascended to the 5th dimension, the earth, which means she is receiving 5th density light through our server, the sun. So we have to be 5D compatible, right? So that's a whole topic in itself, but let me stick to the time. And as we're talking about oscillating between time and what that means for us in time, I strongly suggest, advise, either way, however you want to take it, in you investing within yourself, within your own time machine as yourself, to work on getting off the Gregorian calendar. That 8-year deadlock, that 8-year infinite lock that they wanted to infinitely lock us in, is over. As the timelines are collapsing and the old earth is dying away, it's losing its grip. It has lost its grip. It only has a grip according to how we hold on to it. So getting out of the Gregorian calendar is going to definitely help in any way that you can. Start to find your place in time. Ashe. And what could help you, let me just say that now, is if you find a calendar that is not the Gregorian calendar, whether it be mine or anyone else's, but I can only speak for what I have, or what has been shared with me through the downloads that I've gotten since about 2023. So the 5D calendar, this is a time where I would really say right now that I'm pushing to get that calendar, pushing you all to at least invest, take a look at that calendar, because it is really going to help you, transition out of that old timeline, which is aligned with the cosmos in time, with the cosmic time from the new year beginning in the spring equinox and so forth. So whether you get another calendar or invest in this one, do something specifically now while we have third eye atlas, we have the messenger, we have all the celestial bodies, everything that is pushing us into our new true timeline. So utilize the tools that you have that can get you there. And I can definitely say that that calendar does that. So for those of you who are looking for that, even though we're in the last quarter of our year, that calendar year, we have 3 more months left. But it's not about using it for the months, and don't think, oh, the year is already over. No, it's a tool that you are definitely going to want to have, particularly at this time, as our time is overlapping these 3 months, where we'll all be in the same universal year for these 3 months as they shift into the next year, and we will still be in a 10 universal year of 2017. Yes, I said it, 2017. If you get the calendar, you'll see what I mean. Ashe. So feel free to email me. It'll be in the description, akilahtextri@gmail.com, to get it at a 5D corner near you. What's up? What's up? So true, so true. So anything else with that? Is there any more reminders? Part 2 of the sun rising video will definitely, I'm going to do that and get that to you, because there was some downloads to be added to that video and it did get cut short. So it is what it is. We'll do it when we get to it. With that said, oscillating, what is happening for all of us besides feeling different in your body through the foods you're eating? We're also feeling different in time, and as we relate to time within time, and the way we're moving through time is because of the time-space reality we're in, that is expanding or contracting. It's almost like the earth is, as the earth is pulsating, the earth is breathing, and we are breathing with it. We are in between the breaths of life, and as the earth inhales and exhales, we're being suctioned in, depending on where we are in our dimensional minds. That is how we are shifting through times, which brings me to how I can share is how I experience it is through time pushing. I don't know how many of you have maybe felt that. I've been doing this since 2023, and I noticed it's picked up more. It would just be whenever it happens, and now it's been like every month. Not a month goes by and we're not pushing time as a family unit. And to explain what pushing time is, because I did say I would explain it faithfully, I can get it through in this video, so I don't have to do a part 2. But pushing time is it's like every day we go 2 hours later. Like every day we go to bed 2 hours later. It usually lasts for about a week to a week and a half. We go to bed either an hour or 2 hours. Sometimes we really push hard and we end up going like 4 hours. And we cycle through. So the idea is to not look back at time, not try to be hardwired to man's construct in time and feel like, oh, well, I got to pull back. I got to get no, push forward. That's how it was highlighted to me. Believe me, I thought I was extremely dysfunctional when it was just happening. Like, what's going on? But I realized at that time there was something energetically happening as well. And with that, something was, let's say, ascending. I was transcending something. There was a major like energetic shift that was happening in my life or our lives at that time, and we just kept going to bed later and later, and I was like, something is wrong, we got to pull back. And spirit was like, no, push forward. And the more we did that, what happens is when we push time at the end of the week, it's like we opened space. It's like we created more space in time. Everything just felt more roomier. I'm pretty sure you get what I'm talking about. When you're on that clock, on man's clock, everything always feels like this, because you got to be, in between their lines of time. And it's like when you take the time to do that, because remember, it's really stepping outside of their clock. It's outside of the norm. It's outside of it takes you off of that rigmarole, so to speak. And so whenever you do that, you are stepping out of that hamster wheel. You're stepping out of their live stream of life, so to speak, and you are now stepping out of their matrix. Anytime you do what is opposite to the masses, right, in that way. So with doing that, it's like you step out It's almost like an outer body experience, or but afterwards you just feel like you could breathe, like time has expanded, and you actually feel like you have more time, which is what I was saying earlier about expanding and contracting. When time expands, you feel like you have more time. So for those of you who feel like the days are longer, it's because time is expanding with you, or you are expanding within time. When it feels like the days are shorter, or things are just, it's like something is constricting, whether it's thoughts, feelings, we could be concerned about things. And it's like when we are constricting in time, it feels like in a blink of an eye, like time is, where did it go? And that's because we have concerns, worries, doubts, just a lot of things going on in the thought process. So that could cause us to feel like, and that's according to the expansion and contraction of time. So what happens is, by the end of the week, when we go all the way through with pushing time, we end up being like a day behind everybody, right? Like right now, it's I'm on what, the 26th, and it's approaching the 27th, but I'm not going to bed until the sun comes up because of how we're pushing time. It's like the afternoon for me on the 26th, right? When everybody else woke up, I was still asleep from the day before. So it's like we end up being a day behind, but we actually end up being ahead. I don't know if that makes sense. I know it sounds weird, but it's kind of like how we are with the 5D calendar. Although we return to the origins of time, to 2017, and it seems like we're 8 years behind, we're really ahead, because we are in the universal year of 10 ahead of them. By being in 2017 all year, we were already at a universal year of 10. Last year in 2016 was our universal year of 9. While this year, 2025, for everybody else, they were on a universal year of 9. So that's what I mean by it looks like you're behind, but really you're not. You actually allowed yourself to slip out of their pockets of time so that you can expand and be aligned with true time, which is really more ahead than you think, because you were taught to be pulled back, right? But it was a trick. The 8 years, the Gregorian calendar of putting you 8 years ahead, was to trick you to feel like you're ahead, even though for some people they don't even know. But it was a trick energetically to have you feel like you're ahead when you really are behind in the truth of things, because by the time things happen, you're behind because you already missed it, right? Because you were already thrown ahead. So by the time something cosmically, a cosmic alignment is happening, you're often thrown out of the loop, or you're unaware of it, because just like the end of the world, if you look at it like that, 2020 was the true 2012. But because they put us ahead, when 2012 came, for people who were following this understanding, 2012 came and they were like, nothing happened. What happened? Right? Nothing happened except some stock market or whatever economic stuff. They tried to make something look like something happening. But 2020 came, and you realize everybody felt it. That was the year of the Great Awakening. We all felt it. 2020 came, and that was the end of the world that the Mayans were talking about, because it wasn't the world disappearing or blowing up. It was the end of the world as we know it. It was the end of the Piscean age. It was the end of the 3D shadows, and it was us entering into the fifth dimension and the Aquarian age. It was closing out a lot. So you actually can feel the world being at its end, so to speak. So 2020 was the real 2012, but because we were thrown off when 2012 hit, nobody saw anything. And the people who weren't aware, or the non-believers, were like, see, I told you it was nothing. By the time 2020 came, they're so disoriented and disconnected, they don't even realize that 2020 was the true 2012. And for people who were aware of end of the world, we were kind of thrown off guard, like, wait, what's happening? And then we had to kind of catch our bearings and be like, oh, like you remembering how to ride a bike. Oh, okay. So just to kind of share how we oscillate through time and in time. And this is really calling for us to respect time as time expands. And so the heart expansion was really important because everything is through coherency. That's what moves us through time. Thank you, Spirit. So talk about what moves us through time. Got it. What what moves us through time is that heart expansion. And the heart expansion is being open in the heart, self-actualizing, right? The higher heart is about self-actualizing things that we need to actualize through experiences, through lessons, through challenges, everything that has come up. How have you actualized it? How have you stood the test of time within time? That shows your expansion, and it also helps you in your ascension. So that is how we're moving through time. And this is why I talk a lot about the dimensions of the mind and the chakras. I do have to speak about the chakras more because these energy centers are the doorways through into your consciousness. And how you move through the dimensions in your mind is through your consciousness, through soul integration, by dealing with all the fragments of you. And so as the issues come up, how are we dealing with them? Are we running from them? Are we avoiding them? Are we facing them? Are we having an aversion to them? Are we having resistance? Are we transcending them? And the way to transcend is through accountability. So are we having the ability to account when something comes up rather than become defensive? That is how we're moving through time. Believe me, it is how we are operating in the dimensions of our mind that moves us in and through time. And that is how we're oscillating. So when we expand, when we allow ourselves to be understanding, to not try to know it all and really just have the experience, not try to logisticize it, but really look at and really bear witness to the truths that are happening, then that determines how you're going to move through time. And then that gauges the oscillating, the in and out, the expansion and the contraction. You are your own fuel for your time machine. And this is why at this time we can't avoid truths. Any inauthenticity that we sow seeds, it devolves us, it brings us down, it